Dude, okay, I gotta tell you this. I'm gonna just say the intro. I don't care. I'll make fun of myself. I saw this post that immediately made me feel like super. It made me question things about myself because it was like they were like dudes that sit on the couch, like kind of like with their legs to the side of them, like all relaxed, like that's a little suspect, right? And he goes dudes that sit like this on their couch. And then I was watching the video. Oh my god! Fucking scrolling, and I was like,
Yeah, totally.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
"What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind Podcast. This is episode 71 of the show where we like to normalize checking in on the homies. I can't even talk right now, but we're gonna keep that in.
Yeah.
My name is Mike. That is also Mike, and we're here. We're kind of like in a nice little in between space.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll calm before the storm again.
Calm before the storm. You, at the time of recording this, we got home yesterday. You leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this is literally like the little one day in between where we get to play catch up and play podcast and do all that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, this totally isn't the second podcast that we filmed.
Totally not the second podcast. Totally
Different.
didn't bite my tongue earlier, and now I can just feel it every time I move it.
Oops.
That being said, how do you feel? Is it going to be weird to do another mental health check because
Oh yeah, shoot.
we mental health checked?
No, 'cause I you know what? I'm gonna. Well, at least for me, I'm gonna talk about just what I did and didn't do, I guess. So, mental health check. I'll go first, but mental health check. I can't talk either. Dude,
Do you want to start this over?
it's been no, it stays.
Oh, this is how
This
we were
is-
feeling yesterday. Delirious.
In the last, we'll just say this: in the last 48 hours, I've gotten, I guess, in 48 hours, I've gotten 7 hours of sleep.
Seems right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's been, and then if you go in before that, it's been bad. I haven't had much sleep.
Yeah, I'm like at 8 or 9, maybe.
Yeah.
8 or 9, including the like bullshit sleep I had in the van.
Yeah. Which, yeah. Mental health check. Mental health check is where we like to check in weekly to see where we're at mentally. That way we can see, if there's any coping mechanisms or strategies that we're doing that are helping us. And if we're not, and if we're in a funk, maybe what are we neglecting to do that has kept us or is keeping us in that funk? Michael, would you like to go first?
I totally thought you were going to go.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'll go. Mental health check. Mental health check. Dude.
Oh, man. 71 is going to be a rough one.
Bear with us. Mental health check. So this week, it was a very overwhelming week. The guys flew in on Tuesday, and then it was we hit the ground running. We just had a lot of little errands to run, and then getting in practice time, rehearsal time, whatever you want to call it. And so I didn't really get to do a lot of my normal coping strategies for the week as far as the exercise side of it, which was my jump roping and stuff, my jogging. Didn't really get to do that once they landed. Mm-hmm. But in place of it I was drinking a ton of water.
Yeah.
Like, I was peeing, I want to say every hour, but probably less. I want to say maybe not quite every hour.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And then being able to, I was singing all week, so that was helpful for me. That kept me sane. And then also just the guys, everyone coming prepared. Everyone came prepared. That kind of put me in a good place mentally. And then I just kind of was just normal. I don't want to call them worries or anxieties, but they go with playing a home show, playing locally, But it was more exciting. I was more excited, I think. And so, yeah, mentally, I felt like I was good. It was just like a lot to. It was just a lot this weekend, but it was all good.
Yeah,
mostly for the most part.
Nice.
Where are you at?
So it's like we kind of said, like it's got a little weird to do a mental health check when we literally just did a mental health check. So to put this in perspective, Mike's leaving for tour. I'm going to be leaving here shortly to decompress for our friend's wedding. And so because of that, we recorded an episode with our fucking homie, our boy Sean, which you guys will be seeing next week. It was awesome because we got to switch places with Sean, like Metalcore Nerds, his podcast, which is
It's such a good podcast.
probably 10 times better than our podcast. It's basically fucking metal people talking nerd shit. It's like the best combination of shit in the world, right?
Yeah.
So we got to do an episode of that here in our studio, and then we kind of had his format in our way through our little network that we have set up. So we kind of switched places, and it was nice to sit down and talk to Sean, for his show and also in turn for ours. But that being said, that episode is going to come out next week. So if you guys are listening to it this Friday, next Friday, you guys will see that episode with Sean, and we fucking love him so much. Like,
yeah, it's fun. He's such a good dude. I was right before we started filming this. He's just like a sweet dude.
yeah,
He's just a sweet dude. Very genuine.
both him and Sam, like they're both just like sweethearts. And so anyway, so yeah, that's why we're stumbling over our words, and that's why we're a little
Frazzled dazzled.
We feel like this weekend just straight bamboozled us. I was just flabbergasted by the amount of sleep I missed out on. But anyways, I'm done with big words. But mental health check. So essentially, I kind of said we're resetting, like kind of going back to real life and stuff. One thing that coming home did do for me was a reminder of like, oh yeah, like there's a lot of shit that you still need to clean up and a lot of shit you need to do before you can take this vacation. So there's just a lot in our camp that we need to kind of fix and get everything back in working order, so that when we come back, we're kind of back to that well-oiled machine, and that's not just with the show. I mean, that's with everything, like life and in general.
Great. My favorite MXPX album.
Yeah.
Life in general.
And so, yeah, I'm just kind of like in that that fight or flight grind mode, where I'm like, okay, I have to figure this shit out and, go from there. But other than that, like I'm taking a page out of Sean's notes and trying to stay positive. And yeah, overall should be good.
Sorry, I'm going to turn off my notifications because I keep getting them and I don't know why they're buzzing all of a sudden. I've never had this before.
But that being said, so while you do that, this weekend NBR had their 10-year cycle shows. The 10-year anniversary of this record that was, like me sitting next to you, like you're my boy, so I can tell you like, yeah, that record was sick. But to so many people, like this was such a huge record for a lot of people, and then there was always kind of this apprehension for you guys, like, okay, we're going to come back and do these shows. Are people still going to care? Yeah. Right? Like, are people still going to give a fuck?
Especially like home.
Yeah, like, at home, like, people gave a fuck, man. Like people, just to come out and play a weekend of headliners, one, a home show, and then two, a show in Vegas, and to have them both be sold out shows for you guys with like, I mean, Foreign Pain is sick. They're
really good.
They're really fucking good. And Chain is the home show. That's a testament of that is this show going to sell out? And it did at Doors. And then to turn around and go to Vegas and go, is this show going to sell out? And it did. And Vegas being, this is all local bands, with you guys, like that's a pretty big deal, so it was definitely cool to kind of just be on the sidelines and watch it. And I did spend most of last week trying to learn a song that I barely remembered
You know what? It's okay. Don't get mad. I was gonna tell you like a week before that. I just straight forgot. Like completely forgot. I was just like, why am I stressing about this? I was like, you know what? I might do it.
Yeah.
And then like forgot. Didn't
Told
think about it.
me the
Like days.
Tuesday
Yeah.
or something like that before this. So like that's, I'm sure Karima got sick of listening to the song because I'd be in the shower just playing it. Like to me, it just needs to embed in my brain, like, you know, over and over. And then I kept forgetting that, like, the first line. To me, it's like, as long as I get that first line in, I'm cool. And I kept forgetting it, and I was like, and then so I had to associate it with a Korn lyric. Something takes a part of me. And then I was like, oh yeah, something that's a part, you know. And then I got it. I got it from there. But
Kill that part, by the way,
dude. I was happy that the first night there were kids that knew the song too, so that they could kind of like, I was kind of watching. You know it,
yeah.
you know. And then I posted it on my Instagram, but no way got the sickest photo of me playing a live show ever, not even with my own band.
As it tends to happen to us.
Yeah. Played 38 seconds on stage maybe, and coolest picture I've had in 35 years. So
Yeah,
I think you know
sick.
it. Yeah, but it was cool to just kind of watch this all culminate from like the aspect of like, hey, we're gonna do these.
Yeah.
Right. Or well, actually even further back, going like, when we do this home show, we should do it as a Cycles 10-year, and then seeing that all kind of come together. Yeah, it's exciting, man.
It was I'm glad that we did it, and it went well. Leading up to, like you said, a lot of just you know, it's you don't like, I know how the music scene is. I know that, you know, 7 years is a long time. But it was really cool to see everyone that came out. I mean, we had people flying out from all over.
Yeah.
Literally all over, which is crazy. But yeah, should I go on like a recap of like picking the guys up and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm curious. So Mike got his first full taste of the Feels on Wheels. And I want to get Mike's opinion on this because Josh drove the van and came up to me and asked, hey, are you driving to Vegas? And I was like, yeah, I am. He goes, great, because if I never have to drive that thing again, I'll be so happy. And I was like, oh, you experienced the Feels on Wheels, huh? Mm-hmm. So I'm curious what your thoughts on driving the Feels were.
Well, it drives like a dream.
By dream, we mean it could be a nightmare at times.
It was so Mike, jokingly, but probably not jokingly, he's like, hey, do you want to like just give it a little go around the block before you get out into the world? I was like, ha ha ha. And then like
I was serious.
And then like I'm like getting out of his little area, about to turn. I was like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck. I was like, how do I keep this straight? What's straight? I was like, what's straight? Like, I had to like go over the steering wheel and see which way I wanted to go, and like that was like, I wasn't even on the main street, whatever. But it was fun. So all that to say is I went from there straight to LAX, which lovely this time of year. So I made a mistake, but then Mike told me that, oh, dude, this hurts.
Let me preface it with this. Mike at this point is probably like, you know, he's one of my best friends, right? Like but Mike also constantly doesn't think about me or think to ask me questions, right? He just goes about life, and then later on it clicks. Hey, I probably should have asked Mike about that, right? So he goes and he's like, yeah, I'm going to pick the boys up from the airport. And I'm like, cool, take the van. Like, you guys are going to need this gear. There's a lot of you. Take the van. So Mike's like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That makes sense.
Makes sense, right? So he takes the Feels on Wheels, goes to the airport, gets stuck in traffic, right? I'll let you take it from here.
So, this pains me to say. So, first off, I'll let the guys know. Hey, what time you guys land? Perfect. Yeah, I'll be there when you guys get out. So I was gonna picking up Tron and Josh early because they both flew in at the same time. So I was like, sick. I'll pick you guys up. And then an hour and a half later, Sean and Sam were flying in.
Mm-hmm.
Pick you guys up. We're gonna go get breakfast, go get coffee, whatever, and then we'll go get Sean. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to like, have a little moment to kind of get to know Josh, right? Like a little more of an introduction with Josh, because I didn't really. I met him briefly in Portland,
Mm-hmm.
but like not this is different, and so that was my plan. Pick him up, get there. So I'm texting Sean. I'm like, yeah, ETA. I'll be there in about. I'll be there like a little over an hour. That's if I had fast track, which at the time didn't think I had. I don't know why. I didn't think Mike would. I don't think he put fast track on the Fields on Wheels. I was confident that he didn't. And so I'm sitting in traffic. It took me 2.5 hours. It took me 2.5 hours.
Jesse can't even move from the main shot because he's dying laughing.
It took me 2.5 hours to get them. The nice thing was that I picked them up and we basically just had time to go take a piss. That's the other thing too. I had to piss myself because I've been drinking so much water. So I was dying. Dude, I was in bad shape. I was like freaking out. And so, I picked them up. We found a Starbucks I could just pee at. And we went right back to the airport and picked up Sean and Sam. So off to a great start. But yeah, we picked them up and then it's funny. It was just kind of like, it just like didn't stop.
Yeah.
It didn't stop.
From there, it was just kind of a whirlwind of a weekend.
Yeah. I introduced him to Miguel's Jr.
Sick. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good pull.
Mm-hmm. And then what did we do? I feel like we made another stop. We got coffee, Daily Brew, because of course. And then they dropped their stuff. It was one of those things where like we had to make. Oh, and then Tron, we had to pick up something for Tron, electronic thing. Anyway, so then we like.
Some tronic thing?
Some electronic thing for. Some electronic thing for Tron. And so it's like in my mind, I was just thinking like, and mind you, they flew, Sean and his wife, they left at like 11.
Yeah, they flew
from East Coast.
all the way from the East Coast.
Yeah.
At least, 4.5, 5 hour flight?
Yeah. So like they were like running on nothing basically. Yeah. And then Tron and Josh, they both left super early, same thing. So they're all tired. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, we'll get back. We'll let them put their stuff down. They could probably take like a quick power nap and we can go. Well, it's like we finally get to my house. They drop the stuff off. And then it's like one of those things where it's like, all right, well, we got to practice now.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, shit. Yeah, let's go. Let's go to the studio. Let's go practice. And so, yeah, it's just that first day was a crazy blur.
Before we finish day one, let's circle back to the side of Martin and talk about Martin's passport debacle.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I don't think we've talked about this yet. Well, we've given you like the kind of like the pre, like this is what's happening, right? So Martin and I, we'd been talking and he's like, yeah, so they changed the rules for the passports. Now you have to call 1 week before your trip, and then they'll let you know when there's an appointment open for you to go to the passport office. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you just go to that appointment and you just get your passport, like an emergency 1 week passport. Mm-hmm. So he's like, sick, say less, I got this. I wake up in the morning and I see Martin on a flight to San Francisco. So I go, wait, what? And he goes, dog. I called the passport office and they said, okay, cool, yeah, we can get you in. We have appointments in El Paso, Texas. We have appointments in Denver, Colorado. We have an appointment in Hawaii and an appointment in San Francisco. Which one do you want? So
to get in tomorrow.
to get into
Or-
the next
or the next
or
day.
that day or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So then Martin's like, yeah, nope, no bragging rights. Fly me to San Francisco. He flies to San Francisco, goes to the passport office, fills that all out, gets that emergency passport, flies back, goes to rehearsal. And this is where all parties kind of meet, right? Like everybody gets here for rehearsal. And then night one.
Yeah. No. He.
I thought it was same day, wasn't it?
No. He went to the first practice, and then
First practice, and then went.
And then, yeah.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
and so mind you, first practice, we went for like. I probably weren't even supposed to. I think we went for like almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hour practice. I mean, we were beat. We were tired, and then he had to get up
Super early.
super early.
Shout out to Rev It Up though for being so accommodating for everything.
Dude, for reals, I'm not gonna say, I can't. Okay, thank you so much, Rev It Up.
Yeah.
They definitely helped us out. They helped us out big time. They actually always do.
Yeah, they always
They
do.
always do. They're such a cool shout out to Dave. Always takes care of us, and it was great. That was easy. That end of it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we jammed, and then everyone finally got some sleep. I still worked a shift the next day, so I was up pretty early, and then it's just funny, checking my phone and seeing Martin,
Yeah.
which we love Martin,
We love Martin.
like one of our like best friend in the world,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. We love him.
Very Martin move though.
Very Martin move. Kind of like, well,
One thing I will say about
brought-
Martin is
brought
this.
yourself.
Thing I will say about Martin is this. One thing I will say about you, Martin, is this. Things always work out.
Things always work out.
Things always work out.
That's why part of me, I felt bad for Tron, dude. Tron was stressed out so much.
Really?
He's just like, he basically was like two things. I was like, it'll
always
work out.
does.
Yeah,
It always does.
it'll work out, or it won't.
Yeah.
And then we're all fucked.
Well, there's somebody you can call that will be like, yep, I'm there.
Maybe, we don't know. So I don't know. So but it ended up working out.
It worked out.
Martin showed up just like crazy. He showed up like we had to, like when he got to the studio, that was his first like break.
Yeah.
Basically his first break. So like we get there, we're all set up, and then he's just like, I need to chill. So he goes outside, and just let him chill for a minute.
Yeah.
We kind of just go over some stuff, and then we had a really good practice. That was when
The second night.
The second night.
Yeah. How was the first night of practices? Because you, at this point, for those of you that don't know, you have not only one person filling in, not only Sean filling in on bass, but then you have somebody filling in on guitar, Josh. And like you said, like getting to know him, like this is somebody that is like essentially new to you guys' circle, not for Tron, but like to the NBR camp. Right?
Yeah.
Like so he's got big shoes to fill. Like Daniel is a madman when it comes to playing guitar.
Yes, dude. Such big shoes to fill. And then Sean didn't know Josh, so that was a new thing for them. I'd only really met Sean in person at the Stick to Gun show. So it was a first night, already, and Martin and I kind of talked. I mean, we already knew, like first night we're like, it's gonna be what it is. It's gonna be a lot of nerves, which it was. I felt so. I could like feel how nervous Josh was.
Yeah.
I could feel how just like how nervous he was. But what I noticed right away, I was like, dude, he's playing the parts. Like he's playing the parts.
Yeah, he's playing the part.
He's just nervous. That's all it is, nerves. And so, and then Sean too. First night, Sean was a little timid. I think he kind of, but same thing. I was just like, he's playing these songs. Like he's not like guessing. It's just I could just tell there's a little hesitancy to it a little bit.
Also, to point out, like what it's kind of spoiler for Sean's episode, but Sean, guitar player who picked up bass, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to come in, learn those songs, and rip them on bass is sick.
Yeah, he did such a good job. Both of them, I was so like, it's they were prepared. I could tell. I could tell they were prepared. It was just nerves, which for me, you lose nerves with preparation.
Yeah.
And like I kept telling him, I was like, hey, nervous in the muscles or slow muscles.
Yeah.
So so first night, it went well for it being new for everyone, and then all the nerves. Second night went a lot smoother. That for me kind of was my final. I'm not worried about this. Like we can do this. Like we're gonna be able to. We can do this. And so Wednesday, what did we do Wednesday? Wednesday we ran some air. Oh, here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So
Came
Wednesday.
here and ordered $96 worth of pizza.
Panicked. Panic ordered. So Wednesday come out here. But before that, we had gone to Guitar Center. And
To
just
get electronic things for Tron.
electronic things for Tron. No, Josh actually cracked his guitar.
Yeah. So when you guys were here, that was my first introduction to Josh, and he was like, "Hey, do you happen to have?" And so I was like, kind of running around like finding stuff, and he was like, "Dude, thank you so much, man." And I'm like, "No, dude, like that's like essentially what this house is. Like I've always wanted it to be like you step in those doors, you're welcome here. And you need anything, we got you type deal." So he came in and was like, fixing everything, and I was low key embarrassed that my garage was so messy, and they were in there like practicing. I was like, "Fuck, there's shit everywhere." So I was so embarrassed about it that I cleaned the fuck out of the garage the next night. And when you guys came back, I was like, "Look at this, look at this."
Hey, yeah, do you guys want to jam in here again?
Yeah, hey, you guys want to? That's why when they pulled up, I made sure to have the garage door open. I was like, the garage door was open, and I was just casually getting stuff out of the garage to put in my bags, so
Just keep clean the same spot on the table.
just for 10 minutes, looking behind my shoulder to see if the band was pulling up.
Oh, that's funny. Another funny thing not funny that he broke his guitar in that way, but I didn't know really that's why we were going to Guitar Center, because he wants to see a tech for that. I thought he was just going to get something for it, and so he wanted to see a tech, and they wasn't there. So I was just like, "Oh, dude, the Burner State dudes like Daniel and Gerald could both do this." So I hit them up, and I was like, "Hey guys, explain the situation," and then they're just like, "Take the best pictures you can, send them." And so we did it. Send us a picture. Send them. And then just both of them, Daniel and Gerald, were like, "Oh fuck, that thing's fucked." they're like
Wasn't
"Dang."
fucked. Wasn't.
Yeah, well, and they like it's just they're so like they're like, how far does the crack go? And I was like, "Oh, it goes, I think it goes here." He's like, "All right, is it I forget what the wording was, but I was like, "No, it's not, it's this." And then so Gerald's like, "You know what, it's probably playable, but you probably need to glue it. You just need to get this, and he's at least 24 hours a set. If you bring it in, we can do it, whatever." We woke up late, so we didn't get to take it over there, but it ended up playing well. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was more of a cosmetic thing,
and like it would just throw it out of tune. I think he would just in between every break he got, he had to make sure it was back in tune.
But yeah, so we did that. Came here. We filmed the podcast with Sean in person. We filmed his podcast. So Mike and I were guests here on his show.
I kind of mentioned it earlier. I was low key nervous.
Yeah, me too, man.
Like starting, I was like, and then even like the clip that he posted that went live today, where I'm talking about Secret Invasion, I'm like, "Hey, Mike, you sound like a fucking idiot. What does that mean? What are you trying to say?" Because I like forgot what I was saying, and I was like, save this, keep going. But it worked out in the end.
Yeah, it was
I got better.
Yeah, it's weird. You think we'd be the comfortable ones.
Yeah.
But no,
Home turf, baby.
Sean's a pro, dude. That morning he was just like, I'm so excited for tonight. I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun." He's like, "Yeah, I got all my notes ready," and he shows me his laptop, and it's like a script, and I was just like,
"Oh fuck."
I was like, that's just for our show?" He's like, "Yeah, I was like, "It's like color coded and stuff." I was like,
"Yeah."
I have bullet points for us.
Yeah. We got topics with a question mark.
Yeah. Say something here. Maybe talk about this here. So that was, so we came here, and and then after we finished filming his episode, then we went to band practice, and then is that when we got sushi?
Yeah, you guys got sushi Thursday night.
Oh, okay, the last night.
Because
because we were gonna come here.
we were gonna come back and do an episode in person, but the logistics of it all didn't quite
we've
pan
been
out.
backtracking a lot. So Wednesday really well. Like I said, that was kind of where I was just like, okay, it's just nerves. It's just nerves at this point. These guys just get comfortable. For me on my end, so sleep is huge for me. I had to have my voice repairs, and so I wasn't getting much sleep. And so one of my old tour hacks, which I don't like doing for a couple reasons when I'm on tour, it's where I just basically drink as much water as humanly possible. The reason I don't like doing it on tour because one, I have to pee like every hour, and two, I always just felt rude to drinking all the waters.
Yeah, taking that whole case for yourself.
Yeah. So but I mean, it was rare that I got to that because that's like emergency mode.
Yeah.
And so
At least you have an emergency mode though. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, I have a couple. There's a couple little hacks that I can pull from.
You're like, and I did all of them.
I did all of them for this. I did like a different one for each show, for each day. But no, it was. I felt good. I felt fine just by drinking all that freaking water. And then Thursday, the last day.
But your skin looks great,
dude. Get in close.
I'm not even kidding. Like that one shot right there for you. Yeah.
But Thursday was the last day of rehearsal, and it was nice. We had because despite things being good, we were everyone, a lot of nerves and stuff, and so we thought it'd be nice to with the band money that we treat. So we went out to sushi and we had a really good dinner, which was kind of a mistake to have it before practice.
You can't do that, man.
I'm not gonna get TMI, but let's just say it was rough for me.
I will point out something that you just said though. You taking the band money and treating the band. Something that traditionally NBR would not really do.
No.
Right? Like in the past, your financial structure was very rigid.
Yeah.
So there was no hey, let's
very,
do this
very,
for us.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Sometimes, hey everyone, Taco Bell and the band.
Yeah. Taco Bell and a 36 pack.
Let's go ahead and get some large sodas for everyone. A round of large sodas from Taco Bell for MBR.
5 dudes, 3 cups, free refills.
Yeah. Dude, one of my favorite things ever is watching Martin get in trouble.
For getting soda. The water cup.
Martin is notoriously known for asking for a water cup and then filling it up with soda. Sprite would make sense.
Yeah, no.
Sprite would make sense. No. He's throwing Coke into this.
Clear
cup. Sir, and then right away, if I could, I'd be like, sir, she's getting your attention. He's like, oh, sorry.
Sorry, it's already full.
It's like, oh, my bad. It's anyway, different times. It was a long time ago. Yeah, so it was nice. That was cool to kind of just have that moment, to kind of just have fun, have dinner, and then go to practice where that was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough I think maybe Martin and I probably had the worst just because we're the most active as far as
yeah.
So but it went well, man. It was good. The Wednesday night and Thursday night were really good, bonding nights. And it was nice, man. I really had a good time. I really had a good time getting to know them. They're all they're very different. Sean and Josh are very different, but they fit well.
Yeah.
I think Josh brings a little bit of that youth back into MBR.
Two things about Josh. One, total sweetheart.
Total sweetheart.
Fucking the sweetest guy. I forgot my two.
Smart. I'm gonna say smart.
No, very smart. And then two, just overall, just genuinely happy.
Yeah.
To be around.
Yeah.
Right. Happy to be here. stoked to be here. It's all good, that type of thing. And I got to sit down and like talk to him more Saturday night. Like after all the shows were done, we're wandering Vegas and sitting at that bar drinking, and that's when I got to like really sit down and kind of prick his brain a little bit. And dude, like awesome dude.
Yeah.
And like I said, like had a lot of big shoes to fill, but pulled it off.
And it was cool to have. I don't think we mentioned this or anything, but Daniel was texting us and stuff, and he was saying like nice things to Josh and like, hey, dude, you got this. Like, good luck and stuff.
Which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's huge.
Yeah, and because at the end of the day, like I would love for it to have been Daniel.
Yeah.
Obviously, Daniel to me is such an integral part of NBR. Like for anyone who doesn't know, he writes like the majority of the music, the structure of it, and then I'm about to get a bloody nose.
Yeah, you are. And then the other guitar players who are playing in the band tend to step in and help piece things together and continue writing.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
And we're back.
Mike's not bleeding.
I'm not bleeding from my nose. What were we talking about?
That's a good question. I think we were talking about
Daniel.
Yeah. Texting Josh and
yeah, and he was just and we were texting too. Like I made sure to tell him because like for in like a funny way, it's really hard to not think about Daniel.
Yeah.
Like with this stuff because it's like I'm watching them, like especially watching Josh like go through it. I'm like,
just kind of like I like was trying to learn cycles, and that intro I was like, what the fuck are you playing, Daniel? It doesn't even seem that like it's that much, but I'm like, your brain works in ways that I don't even think.
Yeah, it's wild. But so like I made sure to text him and tell him like, hey man, I'm thinking about you, and in a lot of ways it's kind of like, I think send a thank you to Daniel and being cool with this. He was the first person to be like, hey, if you guys want to do something, I don't want to be the one holding you guys back from doing things. Like if you guys need to get a fill-in, get a fill-in.
Which is part of that is growth. Part of that is having a kid and a family now. Like that's a big it's a big thing to be like, this is my baby, but like have somebody else.
Yeah, and I'd like to think he kind of gets that. It's like it's bigger than just us wanting just to play. Like I think he kind of believes in what we're doing and what we want to do. Yeah, and so yeah, it's cool, man. And so obviously would love to have Daniel there, but Josh has really been a nice addition. It's nice to have a little bit of the new young blood. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he sent us day of, I think, on Friday, the show. He said something. Actually, I don't know if I should share this. I don't know. This is like a personal thing.
That's probably a personal thing. Just leave it.
Yeah, maybe save it.
Yeah, save it.
Anyway, it was sweet.
He shared something sweet.
He shared something sweet.
Yeah. One of the things that I really liked, just to pull you off of that subject, was that Tron had For Dan on his guitars.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard. I like that.
And so yeah, it's cool. And it's hard to not do those shows without him. He should be there. I know he wants to be there. Mm-hmm. But it's just like right now, life is just, he's got a lot going on, like you said, with the kid and wife and stuff. And so,
and I will say that like, that is nothing against Josh, right? Like that is everything just saying like, hey man, like this is, you coming into a band that's been, one, has been gone for so long, but two, like everybody has this idea of what No Bragging Rights is, right? And in order for No Bragging Rights to continue moving forward, like times have changed, people's lives have changed. Like, the thing that's like gonna stay solid and consistent is you're gonna be up front. Martin's gonna be playing drums. Like that's like kind of like at its core, No Bragging Rights moving forward, right? Tron is a huge addition and like such a big. I caught it and it flew away. It's such a huge deal. you know, to have somebody like Tron come in, who Tron is like very like structured and like business minded, and like, you know, he's like, hey, let's get this shit done.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, he's our new Christian, which is nice.
Yeah,
you know, because I'm not the business mind at all. But and actually, you know, what's kind of cool is, you know, if anyone who doesn't know, Sean was a booking agent, and he's done tour management and stuff like that. So it's just nice to have somebody like that also involved that could handle whatever little things we need on that end of it, you know. So yeah, it's just cool. It's like it's nice. It's MBR feels very different, but a lot of things are still very familiar.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to, like, you know, what's coming up, and yeah, I think this show, I guess I should probably talk about the show, day of the show. I mean, I was kind of all over Michael.
Yeah.
but it was man, how do I word the show? So I don't want to get into technicalities, but
You forgot a lot of stuff.
what's that?
But you forgot a lot of stuff.
I mean, we don't, like, what I love about our friendship is, like, we don't point fingers. You know, we don't keep track of that kind of stuff. But
As
yeah,
I pull out my notebook and go,
I was like, hey Mike.
it's fine, Michael, do it.
We're like, well, we get to Chain. Of course, we're taking all the stuff out, and I'm like, anyone happen to pack that big ass box of posters? No. Fuck. I was like, hey Mike.
A minute and 22-second long voice message.
Hey man, what are you up to?
Hey man,
Cool. How's your day, man?
which for that day, can I got to cut in for a second and explain what happened so you guys are on the way to Chain, right? And I'm at work, and my plan was I was gonna leave work at my normal time, just come home, and I told Karima, be ready by 5. We'll bounce at 5. Karima was helping my parents out with some stuff at their house in Beaumont, and then she had to leave Beaumont to go pick up Emily. Wasn't sure that she was going to finish the stuff that she was going to finish. So, excuse me. Like, one of our new agents had like previously had the day scheduled off. So I really didn't have classes and much that I could do with them, because they had already completed a lot of their stuff that they needed to finish, right? So we were kind of at like a standstill. So I asked my boss, I was like, hey, is it cool if I budget them? And then I budget myself, because obviously I'm not going to do anything either. We'll just have them work a 6 straight, and I'll leave at 2. And in my head, I'm like, sick. I'm going to have time to, like, do a bunch of stuff for myself, like get a bunch of stuff done, you know, run some errands before that happens. So they're like, yeah, cool, you leave at 2. The second that I mentioned both to you and Karima, because when I text people, it just happens to always be you and her back to back in my life these days. So I text, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be getting off at 2. So, like, I'm going to be running, you know, this will work out because I can get a lot of stuff done. You were like, oh, sick. And then Karima was like, oh, cool, I can finish up at your dad's house instead of leaving early. Then can you get Emily from school? And I was like, I mean, yeah, if it's gonna help you, then I will. Like, I'll help you out. I'll go get Emily. And in my head, I'm thinking, shit, this just eliminated some time that I have, right? And then I'm like getting off of work, and I'm like getting ready, like things together, and then I get this minute and 22-second voice message from Mike. He's, hey, dude, I don't know if you passed my house yet. If you have, don't worry about it. It's totally cool. It's totally fine. It's cool. It's chill. But if you haven't passed my house yet, like, if you can't do this, it's fine, because we didn't know we were getting these.
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal if you can't do this. But if you can, there's a box of posters in my house. We didn't know we were going to get them. So if you can't get them, it's fine. But, like, if you can, you know, like, it's just the same thing over and over for a minute.
We really don't even need them. I mean, we didn't even know we had them until a week ago when they got sent to us. So if you're there, it's in my room. You'll see it. It's a big box by my mirror.
Yeah.
House is open. Just
So I was like, yeah, I got it. So I went and picked up Emily from school, left the school, drove to Mike's house. I told Emily, like, hey, you got to hang tight while I run this errand real quick. And then, so I walk in the house to get the posters, get interrogated by his nieces, and then finally get out the door, get back in the car, and then drive Emily home. And I was explaining to Emily, I was like, yeah, I had to pick up these posters. And I was like, you know Mike, the other one that does the podcast with me that comes to the house? She's like, oh, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, this is his house. We had to get the posters. And then she was like, oh, okay. How come he didn't get them?
That's a great
question.
It's a great question.
Great question. I'll let you know when I have the answer.
I'm gonna go ahead and blame probably sleep.
Yeah, so then I loaded everything up, went home, kind of like got situated, changed or whatever. Karima got home, changed, and then we headed out to the show. And I was like, all right, at least do me this. Get me a cone, give me a wristband, and I'm good. Like, I'm cool. Like,
and what did I do?
Got me a cone, got me a wristband.
Where did I get the cone?
Huh?
Where was the cone located?
Cone was front and center.
Closest spot you
can possibly get, which I didn't end up taking. Because when I got there, the cone was there and people were like unloading gear and they were in that spot. So I was kind of like, I pulled up and I full intentions of getting in that spot, and I looked and I was like, there's other spots. Let me just not be this guy. So I just turned around and went like a few spots down. Got it. Had there not been any other parking though, I would have taken that cone and been like, yo, they set this aside for me, move your shit.
I was like, hey, we need a cone. We have posters coming.
And then I go to bring the posters in. There's a line of kids. This is fucking embarrassing. I don't even know if you fully know this. There's a line of kids. I'm texting Mike saying like, hey, I'm here with the posters. They won't let me in without a wristband. They're like, what band are you in? I was like, oh, I'm with No Bragging Rights. So like, you're in a bragging rights. Like I have the posters.
Bullshit.
Right?
It's already in here.
I'm holding the posters like this because there's no nice way to hold this box because it's like open and it's like 60 pounds. So I'm holding the posters like this, and then one flap goes like this, and I'm like, oh shit, and I'm on the phone with Mike. When you heard me, I was like, hey Mike, I just and then like disappeared off the phone. The posters started falling out of my arms, and a kid from the crowd ran up and goes, oh, let me help you, and tried to help me get it, and he got it situated. I'm like, dude, thanks, dude, and I kind of dropped my phone, and then attempt to catch the phone, and the posters just fell this way, and then poof, all over the ground. I was like, oh. And the fucking dude from Chain, I don't know who you are. This is my first time probably seeing this guy at Chain. Mm-hmm. All the other dudes like, oh, you good? You good? This guy that was standing by the door, kind of a fucking asshole. Kind of just looked at me and was like, I'm picking up poster off the floor. He legit goes like this. So you're going to go inside or what? Yeah. When Mike comes out with my wristband and I pick up these fucking posters. And then he's like, okay. And then he just stands there by the door. And I was like, what a fucking dick, dude. Like there's no compassion whatsoever. I was like, all right, dude. All right. So anyways, yeah. Brought the posters.
I didn't know that, but so it worked out. Actually, it went well. But yeah, so but yeah, it was cool, man. And then so this was our first official sold out show that as a headliner.
Yeah.
We can go back and forth. There was a time when we sold out. I think we sold out Chain. It was years ago. Different promoter, different thing, and anyway, it was a thing. This is our official one.
Yeah.
But happier times with Chain. I think we love Chain. So that was cool. That was rad. And then the show got started, and this was a time for me to really start to go around, make my rounds, say hi to people, and then kind of catch. I want to catch Coldview. They were so rad. They kept they're promoting on their end.
Yeah.
And they have they're grinders, dude. They have a lot of stuff coming out. They just had a video drop. So I was excited to see them. And so the doors are open. First band's about to go on. And I'm going to go to the merch table because Mike has the posters. So I go over there, just kind of make sure everything looks good and find a spot for the posters and whatnot. And then, you know, someone comes up and says what's up, and gotta start talking to him. And he's like, oh, he's like, do you mind if I buy a shirt? I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, I don't know. One, I don't know where anything's at. I don't know what the prices are for our own merch. We hadn't talked about it. And then I didn't know like what we had as far as like sizes for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, yeah. Well, what size you want? Okay, cool. And I'm like looking for it. I'm like, fuck. I was like, I think we're out of it. Hold on. It was just like such a. I was there for all of Coldview.
Oh yeah, you were there for a while.
I was there for a while. I was our merch guy.
And I said this on the Sean episode. I should have stepped in and just taken over on merch, right? But like, there was this moment of like, these kids don't want to see me. They want to talk to you, and they just happen to also be buying merch afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And like that whole area was like so crowded and stuff. I was like, let me figure out where else to be. Because it was not there.
I remember seeing you just pacing.
Yeah, because I was like I legitimately like kept coming back to like check in and like, okay, like I was like kind of looking at you like, do you need a breather? But like at the same time, kind of like, what the fuck's going on over there?
Yeah, because it'd either be like me and like engaged in the conversation.
Yeah.
Or frantically looking for something.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then Renee, bless her heart, stepped in and jumped in and took over. Her reasoning being, well, no one else was there.
Yeah.
People wanted shirts.
We were freaking out
So,
when you left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think I'm pretty sure I said this when we were talking with Sean. I fucking hate doing merch, dude. I hate it. I've always hated it. I'm not good at it. Even when MBR, at one point we were a well-oiled machine, we'll say. We had everything. We had inventory. We had everything stocked nicely. Everything. Still hated it. Hated it. I had a song for a little while, "The World's Worst Merch Man." A little song I'd hum as I was like frantically looking for things and like making things worse.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too that would drive Martin and like Daniel and whoever we had on tour with us like crazy. They're
The
like,
merch all disheveled.
yeah, they're like, Mike, whatever. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm not. We pay you to be here.
That's one of the things that for me, like when I always end up doing merch, like when I get there, it's organized, right?
Yeah.
Like for like, let's say torture culture, it's organized. I have a chart, I have inventory, I have sizes set aside, right?
Sorry about that.
And then somebody will just walk over and like it's literally like this, like here's small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, right? And then somebody goes, I need a medium. Fucking. And everything just goes to shit. And then like I'm like, where the fuck is and then everything is just in a pile. And then I'm like, I'm done. Fuck. And then I walk away. And then like my inventory sheet, like it's literally broken down. Like, okay, all you have to do is mark, I sold a medium, I sold a large, I sold a small, right? And then I look at the inventory sheet, and in the corner it's like small 1.5, medium. And just scribbles in the corner. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then like other dudes in the band, we won't say any names, will walk over and they'll go, you want a shirt? And they'll just fucking go like this and find the size and go here and then throw merch at people. I'm like,
And not even mark it.
not even mark that it's gone. Like, I don't give a shit that you're giving a shirt away, but at least let's keep track of it. So at the end of the night, I'm like, one, where's our money? Or two, where's the fucking shirt? Yeah. And then that causes me to have a meltdown that I never want to do merch again.
Dude.
Stages, that was my fault.
Dude, I feel that, man.
Like,
I hate it, dude. And also, and this isn't, I know I just expressed how much I hate doing merch. So this is gonna probably sound insincere, but I mean honest. A part of why I don't like doing it is because when I'm engaged in conversation, I want to be engaged in conversation.
yeah, you don't want to be distracted by trying to locate a medium
and
snake shirt in the stack.
And I probably act poorly when I'm like doing merch. I'm probably not giving the best of myself.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, yeah. What are you looking for? Like, do you have can I get this in an XL and that in a large? I'm like, yeah. What the fuck is it? I'm like, yeah. How much? And then I have to do math, which I hate.
I think if I'm gonna just pose this to you. If I'm ever there and you guys don't have a merch person, you have to just tell me, hey, can you do merch? Right? But straight up, like I'll say it on camera, straight up, you have to tell me, I need you to do merch. And I'll sit back there and I won't move.
Okay.
Right? But if it's like a weird, like, maybe not, maybe type thing, I'm not gonna fucking do, I'm not gonna come through for you. Because if you're just back there like, hey, yeah, what's up, man? Fuck! I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say it on camera. If you need me to do it, because I'm always there, just tell me directly.
Okay.
You do this.
You heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you can do it through voice text and say it 4 different ways.
you
Hey, man.
You should see the text messages, dude. That I sent. I should probably read. Actually, I don't know if I should read these.
To me? Or
No, to the band.
Oh, telling them to come sign stuff?
That's that's my sneaky way to get to the table.
Oh, that's
Wait, did they tell you
hot,
that?
dude. No, you told me that.
Oh.
You told me that.
That's my move, dude. What was that?
Sorry, it beeped the AC. I had to turn it on because it was getting hot in here.
I was like, I just very nicely. The first one was just like, "Hey, there's someone that wants their vinyl sign," and we. Oh wait, yeah, we someone who wants their vinyl sign, and we need to get Mike his wristband, which you already had.
Mm.
But I was hoping, get someone out, lure him out.
Yeah.
Dude, I maybe I shouldn't read these. Never mind. I'm not gonna read it.
Don't read them. Don't read it. Pick and choose.
Look at this first one. Look at this first one. The first one.
Yeah, don't read those. Oh, it's so bad.
Dude. Dude. Yeah, I hate doing merch. Let's just say.
It's so the reason it's so funny without reading the message is because it's not like it's so not your personality, but you could just tell you like I need somebody else to fill in for me.
Yo, hey, someone come to the table.
Yo.
Yeah. Actually, and also our good friend Megan came out. She offered. She saw I was struggling. She's like, "Do you need help?" I was like, "No, I don't. You flew out from Salt Lake City. I'm not gonna have you do merch at our show."
Oh man.
But anyway, so once I got past that, once I escaped, finally, it was the show was good, man. I felt all the bands did well. Our man crush Alex and Low Love did great
Fucking killed it.
as usual.
I was so stoked to see Billy. I hadn't seen Billy. Really, I hadn't seen Billy since he filled in with Torture Culture. And we got to sit back and chop it up and talk back in the green room. And I was like, miss you, dog.
We should get him on the podcast.
We should. I'm down.
I'll talk to you afterwards. But yeah, the show. I felt like the show went really well. Darsum freaking killed it as always.
And shout out to Gabe for being such a huge piece of our scene and our local scene and what we do and what he does. Like, hands down, he's probably the biggest driving force behind IE hardcore right now.
Yeah. He promotes in every way. Online, he'll show up to shows. He goes to shows.
He'll fly your cars.
Yeah.
He'll fly your cars, and that to me is like, I love that.
Love the work ethic.
I'm sweating.
And then Foreign Pain was dope. So for anyone who doesn't know, for the rad and bummer side to playing with bands that you like, especially on a bill that you're on, is so for us. For myself, I warm up before we play. So my warm up is usually about 45 minutes. At least I try to give myself 45 minutes. It really starts about an hour fan, stretching and all that stuff. And so like I don't totally get to enjoy the band right before us. So I didn't get to like watch Foreign Pain. Although I was kind of walking back and forth to like the backstage area to see them. But dude, they're good.
Which shout out to their lead singer because he was like his wife is literally literally in labor. Basically.
Yeah, they said at any moment if he had to leave, they had to be done.
Yeah, if he was like, if my phone lights up, He pointed to Aaron. He's like, basically, he's gonna have to take over on vocals. So be nice to him because the second my phone lights up, I'm fucking out. Which good for you. Like I would.
Yeah. I was stoked that they did it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But something happened that has never really happened for us ever. I don't think was so it being our headliner show. We knew our slot time was 10, and so we let people know, hey, we're playing at 10, and the show went fast. Yeah. The show went really fast. To the point where I think we had almost about a half hour for when Foreign Pain played.
After Foreign Pain got off stage, you guys had 35 minutes to kill. And you guys called it saying, hey, can we start at 9:50?
Yeah.
That way, you know, we go on stage at 9:50. That way, like, if people are coming in and they trickle in at 10, we're not too
it's not too far
deep into the set. And the sound guy came back and was like, well, what do you want to do to kill that time, you know? And I think you jokingly threw out, half joking, half serious, throughout.
Yeah, I think the first person to throw it out was probably Tron. I don't know, but we all were like, because he asked, "What do you guys want to play anything?" We're like, "Can you play
Cerebrell.
Not Gonna Write You a Love Song?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Yeah." Wait, what? Whose song? He literally had no idea like who it was or the song, and we're like, just type in anything from Sarah Bareilles. He's like, no, I'll find it. What's the song? And we're like, Not Gonna Write You a Love Song. He's like, okay, and then
guaranteed that guy just pulled up Spotify and said like Not Gonna Write You a Love Song radio, right? And then that formed all the songs that played afterwards in between for that 20 minutes, right? Let me tell you guys that we're not there. These are all songs you listen to in Mike's car when you're driving with him. The whole playlist was just, this is what it's like to ride in the car with Mike. And, you know, I had no complaints. Me and Sam ran up to the stage to try and get footage of people singing along with the song because we thought it was going to go off. Nada.
Oh, no.
Nada.
They got scared.
Some people were singing. Most people were standing there going, what the fuck is going on? So.
It's a great song. It's great. She's great. Sarah Bareilles. Oh, dude. I would love to see her in concert.
She's great.
But yeah, it was so rad. So then we leading up to the show, leading up to our set, you know, so now we have time. And it was just cool. I got to do some things I normally don't really get to do for a set, which was because normally I get I have it to a science, but usually to where my warm up ends, and then I have my last, you know, little 10 minutes where I can just be chill, and then walk on and go.
Okay. Can I tell them what you said?
What did I say?
We can cut this if you want.
You can say it. I didn't have to do it, but you can say it.
Mike was like sitting there. He's getting warmed up. He's, you know, like getting loose. And then he looks at me and he's like, I think I'm about to have a Creed moment.
And then Mike goes, like,
I started singing
Can you
Creed.
Take me higher.
I was like a can you take, or I was like, with arms wide open. And you're like, no, not that Creed.
Not that Creed.
And I go, oh. And then he runs into the bathroom.
I just had to pee. I just had to pee real bad. That was all it was.
Ty called it.
But, dude, that was funny.
That was funny. It was good.
Yeah, it was nice, man. I got to it was just a different type of like we're never used to having time like that. Because I was like already done warming up. My warm up was done. Yeah. It was cool. We got to have like a little quick like pep. It's funny, man. I don't really get to do it a whole lot, even with like, back in the day. I feel like all of us were just very like hey, this is what we do kind of thing. Like everyone knows, we already know. But this one, it was nice. I actually had like a pep talk, you know. I don't know that I've ever had to really do that.
Yeah.
And if I have, it's just been very short. Just kind of like, you know, hey, this is what, you know.
Yeah.
This is what we do, guys. Like nothing's different. But I had a little pep talk. Don't remember what I said. It was probably super inspirational. Josh and their lives are changed. 100%. Their lives are changed.
They wouldn't have played as well as they did
wouldn't
if you
have-
hadn't had that
I did-
conversation with them.
Yeah, I did that. They, I mean,
There was a moment there.
I think they were like tearing up.
Yeah, there was a moment there where both of them were ready to quit.
They were about to quit.
They were like, we can't do this. We're scared, and because of you, single-handedly, and your time in between in your speech, they went on stage and they fucking killed that shit.
Something about like, you know, it's a game of inches or something. I don't know. Something off the top of my head that I totally made
He's
up.
like, it's a game of inches, and I'm not talking about our dicks.
Yeah. But no, it was cool. And then like even Martin had some like really like Martin. It was. I'll just leave it for.
I think one of the things that Tron said in the moment that kind of like helped everybody was like, and I'm not going to quote it word for word, but I think it's okay that I say it. He was like, "Hey, we're here now. We're here now, right? Like anything that happens tonight, like we just pick up and move on. Don't stress about what happens. We just go." And when I was hearing that, I was like, yeah.
It's always the next lyric. It's always the next chord.
I don't know if this is just because you and I are like basically connected at the hip now, but I was anxiously pacing and I wasn't even playing. Like we were at the show backstage, everybody's stretching and I'm like pacing and I'm like loosening up. And then at some point I like realized what I was doing and I turned to Martin and I go, what the fuck am I doing? And Martin goes, I don't know, dog.
You're getting ready for your guestie, dude. You're thorough.
And then I could tell that Martin was nervous too because like we're talking and I just looked to the right and Martin's doing push-ups. And I was like,
we're like, that's some desmadre
yeah,
shit, dude.
that's some desmadre shit right there. He's like, when's the last time you saw me do push-ups?
Dude. That was fun. But yeah, we went out. I was like, is this my first walkout? We joke about how I don't think either of us have really done a walkout.
Never.
And so, yeah, I was like, does this count? Does this count as a walkout? It's already dark out there. Does this count? Yeah, and then freaking show started. Oh, I don't know if you caught what I said, but I shouted out before, like, as we're doing the intro to Advent of Change, I shouted out Daniel Garrow, Christian Lee, Ryan Worrell, Kelly Cairns, Daniel Castleman, Elmo Ortega, Jason Majo. I think I said Lawrence Machado. I'm not sure. I think I shouted out as many people as I could.
Sick. You guys noticed the name that wasn't on there?
This is the people that have the recording. There's all the people that were doing the recording. There's all cycles stuff. But
I got a shout out later.
yeah. And honestly, the only reason I did that was because I was like, dude, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Standing up there
What am I
during
gonna
that
do this
long
time?
part.
But then you carried it over to Vegas.
Yeah.
You're like, that worked. Let's do it again.
Well, it's funny because, you know, every night that we would practice, we would do that part, and it just drove me nuts, just like sitting there in silence. Like, I want to just let that part breathe.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like, I can't just.
And I will point out one vast difference between you and I is like you prepare for the things that you're going to say in between songs and during the sets. I do not, which gets me in trouble, right? So I should probably take a page out of your book because that ends with me telling dad jokes that end up pissing out somebody in the crowd.
Dude,
Yeah.
I have to. Otherwise, I would be canceled. I would say some wild shit.
Something fucking wild.
Some wild shit comes out of my mouth when I'm not prepared.
You did say that you were going to tell the joke, though.
And I did it.
And you did.
Fucking did it.
What is Whitney Houston's favorite coordination?
And I...
The moment you said it, I just looked at the crowd, and it took a second for a lot of people for it to hit. And when they did, they're like, yeah.
Yeah, we had a... I didn't. Did I say that? I think I announced it. At least told you guys. I was like, if it happens, I'm gonna say this joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually try to have a couple jokes on deck.
A couple dingers.
I have a couple comebacks. My favorite one. I haven't really had to use these, but calling someone a banana breath. It's because I feel like it's like disarming. I feel like it's like just enough of like a kid insult that like if you're gonna like jump me after the show because I called you
over that.
because I called you banana breath.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Get your shit together.
And then the other one is I think I've only done it once, and it's just like someone just saying, I don't even think it was bad. Just someone just talking and just being like, having like, what, dude, fuck, stay here.
Yeah.
And then when they get close enough, just be like, no one fucking cares, and then go into the song. But man,
Shout out to the Walking Blind listeners that were at the show. Shout out to everybody that knew the words to that guest vocal that I did so that I wouldn't forget it. I was and like when I went up there, I was like, I'm gonna bring back like the Creative Void mic, do the like kind of like, I'm not gonna go too hard, like I'm just gonna save. I went up there and I was like, nope, it's out the window.
it's hard.
So I'm glad it sounded good because I was so scared.
Yeah. It's something I don't think I've ever asked you before. So you've been to enough of the MBR shows to know that I'm going to talk before Hope Theory. Mm-hmm. Couldn't talk before Hope Theory. So, I'm going to talk in front of Cycles, which I'm pretty sure went as you thought.
Yeah.
Were you nervous when I stopped to talk about the Walking Blind thing, like the resource thing?
No, but I think I wasn't expecting for you to talk that long.
It went pretty long.
It went long.
It went long. I bet.
And there was a part of me that was like, whew, we got a Mike Perez moment on stage right now. But like I think people fucked with the message, right? Like people fucked with the message. People fucked with us talking about, or you talking about the podcast and what we do and things like that. But I was like, okay, Mike,
let's wrap it up.
I think there were some things that happened the first night that did kind of save you a little bit. Like one being Tron's guitar string breaking, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, we don't want that to happen during a set, but it gives you a breather. Josh's head being unplugged on accident and then having to reboot gave you a breather. Mm-hmm. So you didn't have to put your hands on your knees, right? But Mike found the loophole.
Not a loophole. It's rest. There's a difference between resting and just being tired and being gassed.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Resting and being gassed. I was resting.
Mike realized that taking a knee means he doesn't have to put his hands on his knees. Loophole.
Not loophole.
You knew it was a loophole because you were even looking for me to get my attention.
I was trying to get Mike's attention because I wanted him to see me down there, and I wanted to be like, I'm resting. I'm not gassed. I'm resting. Or like, this doesn't count. This doesn't count.
He's like, look.
Mike and I, we're not allowed to put our hands on our knees and look like, because one, we look old and tired. But yeah, I don't know. But the set went well. I was trying to think for myself of like, if there's any songs that stood out either way.
Mm-hmm. Dan killed it on Cycles.
Yeah. And then we had a double dose of guessies on Legacy.
Adrian kills that song every time he gets up there. Adrian, like, and now that he's fucking buff, it's so much scarier.
Yeah.
Now that he's ripped, I'm like, ooh.
It's funny. We for MBR being the band MBR is, we always have like the gnarliest like people come up to do guest stuff, or like every now and then, depending on what it is, we can like say what you want about our style, say what you want about like whatever. We're not very heavy, fine, dude. There's some shows where we have some pretty gnarly bits. Yeah. Like it's always funny to me.
One thing that I will say like always helps MBR shows, and like obviously you guys play and it's tight, but the fact that Martin beats the fuck out of his drums makes you guys sound huge. So like those like split second breaks that go into like heavy parts, like that just sets the tone, and it's like, oh, we're going hard. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's one of the things that like, because like you have other drummers that like they're good ass drummers, but they're barely hitting like their drums, or they're afraid to hit their drums type deal. But
Martin does not
give a shit like that.
Martin hates his drums.
and Tron, I think it was Tron that said like, I guess if like my instrument was designed to be beat the shit out of, I would beat the shit out of my instrument. Yeah. He's like, but Martin beats the fuck out of his drums.
Dude, Martin hates his drums, dude.
I will say his new snare is the only thing I've ever seen him baby.
That's fair, dude. So this, I mean, if you don't know, but so Martin's had the same cymbal case and drum bag thing, is basically for his breakables, since we met him.
Yeah.
Since 2005, he's had the same exact ones. He got new ones finally for these shows.
So he chose them for Australia.
For Australia.
And he even said, I only got it because I knew it was going to have to go on a plane. This is going to make my life easier.
And it's got wheels. Thank fucking God, dude.
He even got into the van, and I looked at him, and I looked at his cases because they were in between us, and I go, "This is the nicest things I've ever seen you own."
Martin's funny, man. He does it. He really looks like you would think with like just how good he is, how long we've been doing stuff. Like there's just like I would think he'd be the guy that would be like super anal about his stuff, have his kit be a certain way, you know, pristine
Yeah.
things. Martin kind of doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Martin kind of doesn't give a shit.
Kind of doesn't give a shit.
I've seen duct tape hold some of his stuff together for years.
Yeah, we've had some symbols that seen way better days.
One of my favorite things about Martin, I think I brought this up. One of my favorite things about Martin is like if he doesn't have to bring his own drums, he's fucking
He's fucking cool with it.
So he's always cool with playing other people's drums. So there's no concern of like, oh, it's not going to be set up the way I want it. No, he's going to play your drums, and he's not going to respect your drums. He's going to beat the fuck out of your drums. And 90% of the time, the people whose drums he just disrespected, they're like, "Oh my god, thank you for doing that to my drum set."
Yeah, they're like stoked.
So
I'd be pissed. I'd be bummed. I'd be like, really? You're gonna fucking... No, it was good. Trying to think if any songs stood out either way. The prequel for me was fun because I don't think we've ever really played the prequel live, and then so that was fun in itself. But then we just decided to just add this like breakdown at the end of it, which is fun as hell.
And that you made way longer too.
Yeah. And so I wish we would have done that. So that song's now a staple in our set, just for that breakdown at the end.
Can you please change the lyrics?
For what?
For that song. Is it that song? No, sorry. I'm thinking of
Oh, you're thinking Fight for Your Life.
No, I'm thinking of the prequel. What are the lyrics in the breakdown of the prequel?
Oh, you want me to change it to "It'd be an honor to be your new stepfather"?
It would be my honor to be your new stepfather.
Instead of to be the martyr, but stepfather works too. I'll say it live.
It's because of the Lonely Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because we probably need to live. That's where we're gonna play.
Yeah. That's our life.
That's our lives. Yeah. Stepdad life.
I did it. You got to do it. You know?
Maybe I should put that in my dating profiles. Fucking ready, prepared for stepdad life.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm good with kids probably.
My Perez. Ready to bring your kids to meet my nieces.
Dude, it would be an honor to be your kid's new stepfather.
Oh,
Hell
shit.
yeah. I thought I turned these off, man. Yeah, that's probably most fun. Okay, so a couple things that were very weird about the show that I will say. Since 10 years ago when the album came out, we kind of early on figured out, it didn't take long for us to figure out Hope Theory is going to be our closer. Mm-hmm. So Hope Theory's been our closer for since then.
Yeah.
And so to play it second was weird.
Weird. Yeah.
It was weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Felt weird for me.
It was jarring almost.
You know what felt weird for me?
Yeah.
Having fucking energy. And
For the song?
because usually it's the last song on the set, I'm like taxed. I've just probably finished crying myself almost, talking about, the getting help and all that stuff. And so that song is always just like a crazy emotional song. I'm always in a weird place. I get through that song on just being emotional, basically, at that point.
It's
because I'm
life
so
or death
tired. Yeah.
Emotion at that point.
But, dude, I was like fucking ready to go. I think I said this yesterday. Because I felt good, it's the first song. So I'm like, my voice is strong right now. Yeah. I was like, maybe I should sing during the, because I don't sing during the, you said things were. Yeah. I was like, maybe I can harmonize that. It's not good to do things when you haven't practiced them. So yeah.
Mike went for the Oh no.
Maybe not. Maybe we don't do that. So that in itself was weird, just to have, like, I just felt crazy during that part, because I'm like, what the hell? I was like, dude, this song's not that bad. It's not that hard. And then yeah, I could tell people were still getting used to the new song, the EP. Which was interesting. Something I wasn't mad at was when we finished the album, I saw a couple people take off. Which I wasn't mad about that.
Yeah.
Because we played songs after, and we're trying to give people their money's worth. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. It was a good set. Nothing really stood out to me as far as being like, oh, that was crazy or that was bad.
Long set.
Looking forward to not doing that set in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, as you're saying that, we should probably let Christian know what songs we're cutting. That way he doesn't kill himself.
Yeah.
But
a different Christian, by the way.
Yeah, different Christian.
Different Christian.
We have a buddy who's out in, I'm pretty sure he lives in Sydney. But he's going to be filling in on bass for us. This is before, had we known Sean, was going to be freaking ripping it and awesome, then we would have taken him for sure. But at the time, we were just kind of like, oh, we don't know who's going to really do it. And, save a little coin.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to do these with Christian. We're gonna show up day one. Actually, I don't think we're not gonna have any practice with Christian. He's just gonna show up, and we're gonna just do it, grip and rip it.
Yeah, yeah, it happens sometimes. Sometimes a bass player is just there to hang out. Like one time we had Martin play bass for us.
Did you? Oh, that's right.
Do you remember this? You were there.
I feel like I was there.
We played with the Greenery. Creative Void played with the Greenery in LA, and Jake couldn't make it, so Martin said, "I'll do it." Martin just turned his bass off. I think he was using my bass. Like I had a Fender, jazz bass, and I gave it to Martin, and he just turned the volume. Like he sound checked. Like when they were like bass, he's just like do 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 do. And then he started playing, and you could tell he was so out of his element because he was kind of holding it like he was in Corn, and then he would just like drunkenly like lean forward and laugh and headbang and come back. This is a shit show.
Wait, why didn't I attempt to play bass then? If Martin was your option,
I have no idea.
I used to play guitar. Everyone.
No idea. I think it was one of those like, fuck it, we'll just play without a bass player. And Martin was like, I'll do it. We were like, really? I'll do it. Okay.
At least he would have been in rhythm.
Yeah.
At least he would have been at least locked in. At least looked like he's kind of playing.
But the best part about it was because we were with like the Greenery boys and everybody knew he didn't belong there.
Yeah.
So everybody was laughing about the fact he didn't belong there. And he started laughing at the fact out as well. So he's just like,
dude, that's funny. Oh, man. I hope is there a video of that anywhere?
I don't know. Maybe.
I scour the internet. There was we did a tour with Handguns, and I forget what happened, but their guitar player either took off or something. There was a show where you couldn't play, so then they were asking everyone in the tour package if they could learn one of the songs, and I think I volunteered. I learned 2 songs to play.
You play with Handguns?
Yeah, played guitar.
Sick.
I played guitar for Handguns.
How'd that go? Were you awkward?
Well, dude, I fucking ripped it. I was fucking doing jumps and shit. I was in my element, dude. I don't like to play and sing. I'd have to sing.
Oh yeah.
So I was ripping it, dude. Please, don't ask me to ever.
Is there a video of that?
There's pictures.
Fuck, I gotta see these pictures.
There's a picture. I'll look for it. Actually, there's a picture on my Instagram.
Sick. All right.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
But anyways, yeah, so
Chain success.
Chain was a success. Shout out to everyone who I got to speak with. Thank you everyone who like traveled to come to these shows. Thank you everyone who, whether regardless if it was like I said this on thing with Sean, but you know what I love is this time around. Yeah, I had a couple rough conversations with people. I had a couple rough ones, just because life is hard. But what I loved is there was a lot of positives, a lot of victories that people were sharing. It was so rad to see, some of our friends where it's like, dude, I remember where you were 10 years ago, and like, look where you're at now. Like, that was cool. And then also the really funny thing is like seeing people, and it's like, they're like men now or women now when they were like super
They're grown now.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you don't have your pink colored hair anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, you're here with your kids. So Chain was a success. So thank you everyone for Chain. And then Saturday was Vegas, and we all got home pretty late.
Yeah.
We went to we went to Danny's after Chain because it was right there, and we were all starving.
Go to, yeah.
Which is fun. And then, we didn't get much sleep. Got home really late.
Did you sleep in?
No.
What time did you get up?
I got home at 4.
Yeah.
And I think I was up by 7 or 8.
Yeah, I was up by 7. Because I had to get up and pack my bag and like get everything ready before I went to get my hair cut.
Yeah, I had a couple of things I needed to clean.
Shout out to our boy Jake Shipwreck for sponsoring NBR's Good Looks on this tour. Because I was like, hey, I need to get a pomade for Mike. He's like, just tell Mike I'm sponsoring him. And just gave him a pomade. So.
Dude, when first off, shout out to Jake coming out to Vegas show, surprised us. I had no idea he was coming. And he said something like, hey, he's like, did Mike give you the pomade? And I was like, you don't recognize your own work? You don't recognize it? Shout out to Shipwreck Pomade. I genuinely love it. Mike knows. I'm always like, hey, you gonna see Jake?
Yeah. Hey, when are you getting your haircut again?
So yeah, we got off to like we tend to do. We got going a little late.
Not my fault.
Not Mike's fault.
I was genuinely stressed out because I love Jake, but when he gets to talking, he like stops cutting my hair, right? And I'm like, I literally pulled into my driveway at 10:29, and the guys were supposed to meet at 10:30, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
Right. So I pulled in my driveway. I'm like, whew, I made it. I went in, grabbed my stuff, opened the garage, opened the garage, and then it was like fucking around my back. Crime was in there working out. I will say it was weirdly jarring to pull up to places and see the Feels on Wheels already there, right? Or like see somebody else pull up in the Feels on Wheels. I was like, weird. Yeah, so they pulled up, like hung out for a little bit. Sam like plugged in her laptop and was like getting some pictures and stuff together. And then you pulled up with the coffees. We loaded it all up.
I got coffees for the boys.
Yep. Loaded it all up. And we had a full van, gear in the middle rows because everybody had their shit. And then, and shout out to Dave, that Dave, for renting a car and driving out to Vegas to come hang out.
Can I say his nickname?
No. Shout out to Dave. So he drove out, got the car, and then returned the car in Vegas and rode back with us. That was rad.
Sorry, this is really random, but I send voice messages. This I think has been well documented, and so I sent one to Megan, just telling her I just dropped off Dave, and that I'm like, hey, no, so like whatever, and so she's like, hey, I was like walking in an aisle and I heard like you like came out of that right away, so I like moved. I was like, oh my bad, just letting you know that we're like ready home, like we're not dead, but yeah. Sorry, I don't know why those words.
And then poor Dave rented a car, drove out there, and He calls me. He's like, "You guys at the venue?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, I'll be right there." And I was like, "Oh, are you close by?" He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Can you stop and get us energy drinks? And can you get
Energy
us
drink,
water,
Sharpies,
chapstick?"
pen. Dave was like, "Fuck you guys, dude."
Oh shit! I'm sorry, Dave. I love you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's like ending.
Weird. It seems like a trend.
Like I said, we used to be a well-oiled machine, but it's been years since we've done this.
Act
So,
like we've been here before.
no, dude. So, like, yeah, we'll be ready. Don't worry, we're good. We're back, guys. We're back. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. There's no need to worry.
The delirium is still like carrying over to today.
Yeah.
I could say that as
Yeah, I'm so tired, but yeah, Vegas went well. Shout out to the band. I said it right on stage, and I don't even know which one I said because I've said it like a billion different ways. But Nari,
Navarre.
Navarre,
Yeah.
Navarre.
Navarre?
I think it's Navarre.
Okay. I thought it was Navarre.
No, because that was one of the ways where I that's like churching it up.
Navarre?
Navarre. It was just, I think it's just Navarre,
Okay.
which was a total guess. And so there, he was like, "Yeah, that was correct." I was like, "Yeah." But they were cool. They actually, I believe their singer said that they had played with us the last time we were there. So like 2014, probably.
They've been a band that long?
I think it might have been a different band.
Okay. That band, I don't mean this disrespectfully. I mean this like in the best way possible.
Best take, by the way.
That band looks like 4 or 5 dudes that were all in different bands, like different stylistically, different styles of bands. That those bands didn't work out, and they were all like, "Want to do this? Want to do this? Want to do this? Want to do this?" And then came together.
Mike's not wrong because the bass player was wearing like a nice polo, like a black button polo, black pants,
like a black Ben Sherman polo or something like that.
Yeah. And then the vocalist was wearing a Madball t-shirt.
Madball t-shirt and shorts, tatted up, from the neck down, face down, basically.
Yeah. What would you say the drummer was more like?
The drummer,
maybe like Asley Dying,
like metalhead type drummer,
metal kind of looking drummer.
And their guitar player had like the suicidal tendencies. Like
more like
hat with a flannel,
like old school punk hardcore.
Yeah. So it's like you could just tell, like, all right, these dudes came together for one thing, and that's rock and roll.
Rock,
you know,
it's a rock. Nah, they're good. They're rad.
Yeah.
Everyone's so nice.
Aspen,
dude. Shout out to the singer from Aspen, doing like quadruple duty as far as playing and then running sound the entire night.
Yeah.
It's funny. He was pumping me up because he was like, I could see him singing like way back to like the booth.
Guys were sound checking. This caught me and Sam way off guard. We weren't ready. We were sitting there at one of the tables, we were talking, and this kid, like, I say kid, he's probably, a grown man. But so like he's back there, he's sound checking you guys. He's like, all right, cool. So you guys want to sound check a song? And he has a mic, right? So he can talk to you guys. And you guys start sound checking, and then he's like singing with you guys in the mic. Yeah, I didn't see that. In the back by the sound, like singing along with you guys. I was like, oh, okay.
Dude.
It just caught me so off guard. I wasn't ready. I was like, what the fuck?
So this never happens for us. So I wasn't prepared for this. But so we were sound checking. As we're getting ready to sound check, you know how you can just tell that people are getting ready to listen?
Mm-hmm. All the bands came in.
Yeah. All the bands are like, and so for me, and I warm up 45 minutes before I set. So I'm not warmed up.
And you're not singing the way you normally would.
I'm not singing the way I normally would. I'm just standing there. I'm just like, if anything, I'm just trying to get as high as I can, even on the scream stuff. Like I'm not trying to push like that yet. But like I'm doing this and all these guys are there. And I can feel them watching. I feel it. And so I'm like, I go through like the first couple lines and then I can just feel their eyes. So I'm like, trying to like get my voice like a little more so I can push a little harder. And then, I think at the end of it, I was like, you guys know, like, I don't sing like that, right? Like that. That wasn't me. But, no, it was cool. Everyone was really sweet, man. Aspen dudes were good. Again, actually both they had two vocalists were strong, and then words from Aztecs.
Is it words from Aztecs or words from the Aztecs? I think it was words from Aztecs, but
It might be. Let's fact check.
they had the cool, like scratchy letter logos. I was like,
they're good.
yeah,
Dude, they're heavy.
Yeah,
They're a lot heavier than they sound on their on
their live shows definitely like brought out like the beefiness to that music.
Singer's cool. Talked to him a little bit afterwards. He does like hip hop stuff.
Sick.
Yeah.
He was talking about like he was setting up EDC, I guess.
Yeah.
Out in Vegas. So, yeah. I didn't really get to chop it up too much with him. I was already like
Checked
delirious
out. Already tired.
Yeah, I was so tired at the end of the show.
At like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So
mind you, the show ends early.
Show ends early. It went well. It was a good show. A lot of actually I'd say a little more heavier conversations that we had at this show, Vegas. A little heavier, but all in all it was good. So we leave and we head down to Fremont Street. Old Town Vegas, shout out.
Well, we dropped Sean and Sam off.
Oh yeah.
And said our goodbyes because they had a hotel right next to the venue. And they were both like, you know, even Sean, before we started the episode, I was talking to him before you got here. He was saying like, yeah, like we were watching you guys' stories and stuff. And we were like, fuck, we should have went. That looks so fun. He's like, but at the same time, we're like, fuck, we're so tired. I don't think we can make it, you know? So they made the right choice. You guys definitely made the right choice.
They made the right choice. You know, I regret that for a quick second. I would have loved to have done that.
Yeah.
In fact.
So we go to Fremont Street, which, you know, if you spend any time in Vegas, the Strip is cool and all, but Fremont's like really that's the heart and soul.
Yeah.
To me, at least. And
they had a freaking cover band playing some
3 different
Maiden. Playing some Maiden at like 1 a.m. or whatever it was all late.
Still popping, still going. So we're walking through. We grab some drinks.
Well, hold on. Let me go back. Let's go back. So on our way there, crazy me, I thought somebody was saying that we were going to get a hotel because I thought we were going to go sleep. That's what I thought.
We were. And then somebody had friends that were going to be in the area.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, well, let's go get food. We'll meet up with them and then figure it out from there.
Okay. So we're walking. I forget what Mike said. Mike set me up, though. Made me look like a bitch in front of everyone. He was like, you're like, who wants to, do we want to leave right now and get, what'd you say? I forgot what you said. You're like, hey, do you want to leave right now? Or do you want to like go and get food or whatever, blah, blah. And I thought Mike meant, hey, one of the options being, hey, do you want to like go home right now? Like leave Vegas and go home. Where I was like, dude, yeah, I'm down. I was like, yeah, I'm down. And then we're like, what? No, like as in what? No, like we're gonna go do this and then like we're hanging out, but we're gonna just go at this instead of going. I don't know, whatever it was. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
We got pizza, which was bomb.
Pizza was so good.
But this pissed me off. Mike and I order pizza back to back, right? He orders his slices, and then I think Tron ordered his slice. I ordered my slice, or something like that. There was one person in between us that ordered slices, right? And then, Martin ordered between us, and then it was Josh, and Tron. So we order pizzas. Mike, they call Mike's name out. Mike, your pizza's ready. Whew, sick. Goes to get his pizza. He's sitting there like, this shit looks so good and melty. He picks it up, right? Martin, your pizza's ready. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, it's time. I'm so ready. I'm so hungry.
It was so fucking yeah. We hadn't eaten.
Yeah, been eaten.
No one had eaten.
So Mike, Martin, Josh, your pizza's ready. Josh, come next. It's fine. I'm next. It's fine. Anthony, your pizza's ready. What the fuck is happening right now? What the fuck is happening? For real, what's happening? And then I'm like, I gotta be next. Diana, your balls are ready. Oh, fuck. What the fuck? So I get up and I go up there and I go, hey. First I go to the bar. I go, hey, I ordered pizza and they haven't called my name. Oh, you got to talk to those guys over there. Over there. Hey, boys. They call my name. You go, oh, Mike? I think another Mike grabbed your pizza. And I was like, no, there were two Mikes that ordered back to back. And they go, oh, there were two of you. Oh. And then he looks at the other dude and the other dude goes, give us a couple minutes, we'll get your pizza. So just stand there. But then they hooked it up with an extra slice to kind of appease me. And I'm eating my pizza. We were all hanging out. Mike wanders off. We had to go find Mike. And then after we ate, did we grab another drink? Yeah, we went to a different bar.
Yeah, I met up with Ariel and
her
friends.
Met up with Ariel and her friend. Went to another bar. Had a drink there. That's when I really got to sit down and talk to like Tron and Josh and figure out how they met and like kind of a little more about Josh. We got to know more about him and talking about dude, he's cool, man. He's got and he's just he was awesome to talk to. I don't want to get into his story and tell his own story, but yeah, he's cool. And then from there, I think we decided to go back to the car and then take them to the airport. So we went back to the car, walked back to the car, and the plan was walk back to the car, smash some claws, drink a little bit and hang out and go to the airport. What happened was we walked to the car, loaded up the car, went to the airport, just dropped them off. We didn't drink, we didn't party, anything like that. It was just cool. And then Tron was like, I'm just going to lay down in the terminal because their flights were like 2 hours apart. Mm-hmm. And Tron was just like, I'm just going to go lay down. So we like unloaded, said our goodbyes, drove back, parked, and then attempted to sleep for 2 hours. By attempted to sleep, I mean we sat through Dave's sleep apnea.
Dude, thank God we had noise canceling headphones.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I had like white noise or whatever, static playing, like blaring through them. Still. And then I could just feel like his movements too, because he'd move a lot.
Yeah.
And then I would get like stuck in a position, because like I don't think
you were asleep in the front with your feet up on the dash of the van.
And then when I wanted to move, I was stuck. If you don't understand, like I was in so much pain. I was so sore from these shows. These were long sets. Sets for us. We hadn't slept a whole lot, and it was late. It was like 4 or whatever in the morning, or probably later than that at this point. And we're trying to sleep, and I'm like in my mind, I should be knocking out. Like I'm so tired, I'll just knock out. Dave snoring. I can't get comfortable.
Red Bull vodkas.
Yeah, but I stopped. Remember? I stopped, and so I put my feet up in one position. And my legs got stuck, dude. I couldn't move them. I was like stuck. And so I was like in this weird position and I was like in pain.
I saw the moment where you moved from the front seat to like the seat in front of me.
Dude, I crawled, dude.
You kind of like just rotated your body so that you would fall off the chair that you were on and then climb to the back.
It was rough.
My alarm went off at 7 because I knew that we had to leave and get back. Alarm went off at 7. I got up. Just you guys were still asleep. Walked up to the front, like got situated. We loaded up, and then went from there.
Well, first off, you're like, where the fuck's Martin?
Yeah, where the fuck is Martin? And then loaded up. I was so mad.
I was like, does he know we're here? You're like, yeah, you fucking text me.
You text me. Yeah. And then so we loaded up. And then bounced.
Made that trek home.
I drove to...
Shout out to Freddy's.
Yeah, I made it all the way to like Victorville. Ate at Freddy's, and I was like, somebody else needs to take a shift.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, Martin's gonna step up. He hasn't driven on this whole thing. He slept
the whole time.
The whole time he slept. He's gonna step up and say shit. I was just like, fuck. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, I guess if Mike got us this far, I should be able to get us to the next part. It was fine. Freddy's helped.
Yeah.
Freddy's on their fire burgers and fire shake Sunday thing that I almost.
Mike had the fattest Mike got in the van and had gotten this shake. He put in the cup holder.
I first wanted to get the split.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. And then I saw they had an option to make it into a shake.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, much easier to have in the car. I'll do that. Because I'm about to drive.
It's sitting in the cup holder and Mike is driving, merging into traffic, right? And now the van, mind you, like driving straight, your wheel is like this. Like it's cocked this way. And there's like very little room for like error there. Mike is driving and goes to take like a sip or a bite of his milkshake, and the whole van starts going this way. And Mike's more committed to catching the drip.
I was committed. It was already out. It was like already on my spoon. Because I had a spoon. I already had the spoon out. And so I was turning. I was like, I'm gonna. As the wheel started to go closer, I felt like I was getting closer. And I was like kind of spilling everywhere.
He was so committed, and then he even said, "This is the fattest shit I've ever done." And then he took the bite and then corrected the van.
Dude.
Oh,
I was willing to kill us.
Mike was.
I was willing to kill all of us.
At some point,
have
Mike
that.
and I looked at each other, and he's like, "I don't know what I'm running on, but it's not good." And I was like, "Dude, I'm fucking delirious. There's no way."
Dude, I'd have like random spurts of energy out of nowhere. I was like going real hard with, dude, shout out to Anthony for introducing us to Work of Art. It's like my new favorite band. I ride with them hard now, forever. Just became a fan this week. They came on a lot. And then, did you catch my playlist last night?
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, Mike's playlist." Put my headphones in.
Like Mike's, I don't know. I don't know if you caught. There was like a list. There's like a couple songs. We'll talk about this off air. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Why now? I was like, well, whose set list is this mine? Why would I do that? Anyway, so yeah, we got home, and that was kind of it, man. It was Easter. I didn't really celebrate. I said hi to my family and then tried to sleep and.
I said so this was the cutest shit, but it was also like poor little guy was embarrassed. I got home and Karima was in the backyard with Elliot, and I just text her a picture because she texted me a picture of Elliot playing in the yard. I text her a picture of us pulling up to the house and looking at the driveway, right? So I opened the garage and I went to go get stuff out of the garage, and they came out front, and Elliot came like running out, like "Daddy," whatever, right? And ran to Dave. Dave had his back turned and was like putting himself together. Like, "Daddy, Daddy," and ran to Dave. And then it didn't click with him until he like looked up at Dave, and I was like, "Hey," and I was like looking at him from the garage. And poor little guy, he was so excited, then he got so embarrassed that he came in the garage and like kind of hid. So I went and I grabbed him and picked him up. But I was like, that was the cutest shit ever. But it wasn't fucking me.
Yeah. Could have
I was like,
moment.
and I was like, "Is this something you're not telling me? Do I look like that? Do I look like Dave?
Who looks like Dave?
Who looks like Dave?" Oh man, so yeah, and then we just kind of like cleaned out the trash in the van. You guys loaded up, and
You tried to get my car to work again.
yeah,
I mean, it worked. My radio.
Radio is a little shot. It needs a factory reset.
like, did it work? We're like, no. No, it didn't work. It's fine. That was. I mean,
There's just pure defeat at that point. Like we were just like,
yeah.
I just need to go to bed. And then I talked about this on the Sean episode, but I got attacked viciously by my shower head. Like I was like, I've been wearing the same clothes for 2 days now. I still have like little haircut bits from getting my hair cut, and they're like making me itchy type thing. I was sweaty. Huh?
You take a shower after you get the haircut.
I don't have time.
You literally didn't have
I
time.
literally came home and left. So, shout out Shipwreck Pomade. It stayed in my head the whole time.
I know, dude. Our hair.
Our hair looked great.
Say what you want. We
Yeah,
look
we were
good.
shot.
Our
Our hair looked great.
Yeah.
And then and so I go to take a shower, right? And then I was in the shower and the shower head decided to explode. And it's like one of those rainfall shower heads, so it like shot off and the water pressure was like hitting my face, and like the way it fell, it like flew off and it hit my chest so hard and then went and like went down my body and sliced me. Like,
I saw it.
I showed him, and it like
I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was
like
really,
I was bleeding. Like this was like dripping blood. In the, you know, you're bleeding when you're showering, and there's still blood coming out. Like
it looked like you got shanked in the shower, basically. Like,
yeah.
Like,
and luckily, I caught it before it hit my, because that was the trail it was going down. Like it got past my belly button. And I was like, no.
That's why our belly sticks out further than ours.
That's why evolution.
That's when it's good to have Dicky Doo. Dicky Doo is when your tummy sticks out further than your dick do.
This is what is it? Is this adaptation?
Yeah.
This is our bodies adapting to the circumstances.
Yeah. The protection.
Oh man.
There's only so much left.
So I was like, I was so tired and I was so defeated that I was just like, babe. She's like, what? I was like, I need your help. And she's like, with what? And she opens the door and she's like, oh my God, what happened? I was like, the fucking shower head attacked me. And I'm like, I have my towel on me, but I'm bleeding into the towel. I'm like, I need like a Band-Aid or something. She's like, I'll go get you Band-Aids. So she went out in the garage and I just dried off and put shorts on and laid on the bed like this. And she comes in and she's like, well, you stopped bleeding, but let me put some ointment on it so it doesn't get infected. And of course, you're bloated from like tour food for a couple days, so I'm just like laying there like this with just shorts, my fucking guts hanging out. My girlfriend's putting ointment on my belly, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, you need to change this. Something needs to change.
Something needs to change in my life.
And then so I put my Taco Bell shirt on, and it shrank because of course it went through the dryer. And so I put my Taco Bell shirt on, and all I see is just blood driplets like start to stain the shirt, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. And then I came out here, grabbed my pillow and laid down. I was like, okay, I'm going to try and just nap for a couple hours. Slept until like 1 or 2 a.m. or something like that. Woke up, couldn't go back to sleep. Went in the house to go to the bathroom. Laid down in bed. I've already told the story for next week, but like laid down in bed. Crime is knocked out. Elliot wakes up, comes in the room, knocks out next to her. And then they start snoring in tandem. But I'm like awake at this point, like deliriously awake at this point. So I'm like, I can't fucking be in here. So I came back out here. That's why my pillow's here. There's like a blanket. Yeah. Like and then I just stayed out here. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I'm sitting here like playing guitar. No amp. Like I didn't want to make any noise. I was playing guitar, watching fucking 911. Like, yeah. Delirious. So I'm hoping now that I've been up since 1, I'm just gonna crash like normal tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should probably start packing tonight.
Yeah.
I have yet to start.
And then I'll pick you guys up when I get off work. I'm going on a mission tomorrow. Tomorrow's a fucking mission. If everything works out for me the way that I hope it will, drop you guys off, pick up that new stuff, come back home. We'll see.
I still have to go. I bought a duffel bag, but I'm going to go to the Omni Surplus so I find a bigger one.
Let's leave it.
Done.
Well, let's. I feel like now we're rambling.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how long this episode took because there was but there was a big like chunk of that time where Mike's
I can't read that. From
2 hours and 16 minutes.
Holy shit.
But there was a big chunk of time where you were dealing with your bloody nose. So
Okay.
this will probably cut down to like an hour and
2 hours probably.
an hour and 40 minutes.
All right. Well,
That being said, you guys are watching it this week. The boys are in Australia, fucking ripping it up with our boys in Proposal, Outsiders.
and then a bunch of cool locals for the other shows. So if you're in the area, come out, say what's up. Dude, if you watch, oh my gosh, I'll freak out. If you watch the podcast and you're from Australia and come to the show and say what's up and then you watch the podcast, you'll make my day.
Literally say, walking blind, cunt.
Okay.
That's what I want you guys to say, Mike.
I mean, yeah, or just say, hey, I'm a fan of the podcast.
Oi, cunt.
The podcast is heap shit house.
Yeah. If you say the podcast is Heap Shit House, please record it. I just need at least one.
Dude, that'd be cool. And also, sorry, Damon, for not promoting your episode.
We're gonna.
We will.
We will. We just. Yeah.
It's
It's
been a week.
been a shit show.
It's been a week. We'll just
But your episode's doing better than most episodes when they first launched with no promo.
yeah.
So maybe we're the problem.
That's a
I think we're the problem.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
You know,
You don't set up.
all right.
All right, Walking Blind Pod at everything. WalkingBlindPod@gmail.com. WalkingBlindPod.com. WalkingBlindPodcast.com.
Yeah. And check out the resource section to find out what resources might be in your area. I know right now we only have. I know I'm so out of it. So right now, it's very limited in the sense that every show MBR plays, we want to have whatever resources are within 30 to 50 miles of the venue we're playing. So I know it's very small right now, but eventually it'll start growing. And the whole idea is just I want you to know that help is a lot closer than you realize. So
Yeah. Well, we love you guys.
peace.
Peace.
Knowing I handle my aggression.